Diving into this reading, I want to see what your person wants to tell you. I want to see how your person feels about you, right? But before we dive into this reading, guys, I really do want you guys to acknowledge that the first cards are about your situation and how you feel about them. So if that part matches, stay. If it doesn't, move on. A better reading will always find you. Okay, so our first two cards are the Two of Cups and then the Ten of Pentacles. What does this mean? When you first met this person, or when you guys were first dealing with each other, you saw them as a person that was able to give you proper structure, right? Or maybe your person still sees you as somebody that can add proper structure into this relationship, add proper structure into their reality. Así de simple, right? And then our middle card is the Sun. Right now, even though this is how you feel about them, even though this is what's currently going on with you, no te voy a mentir, you crave them, right? You crave your person, you still think about them, but the amount of happiness that you think or you know you are finding outside of this, it's mind-shocking, right? Because even though your mindset is still on maybe they're your partner, maybe they're the one that you're supposed to end up with the Ten of Pentacles and with the Sun, you are more focused on what can bring you stability. You are more focused on what can bring you happiness, right? And even though you still think about this partnership, or even though you're thinking of ways to expand this relationship with the Sun and with the Ten of Pentacles, you are more focused on what can bring you structure and what can bring you happiness, right? Lately, you have been feeling really happy with certain things around you. It doesn't have to be with this relationship. It could also be with other things, such as the way that you feel about yourself, the way that you are expanding. Honestamente, solo como tú estás mental. What does that mean? Honestly, just how you are doing mentally, right? You're more focused on the stability, the happiness, overall anything that has to do with you putting yourself first. That's where you're at, and you're actually finding a good amount of financial stability, or you will be finding a good amount of financial stability very soon. That is coming out here with the Sun and with the Ten of Pentacles, right? No les voy a mentir, I'm also going to take this reading for me as well, because I really do like the positive things that's coming out with the Sun and with the Ten of Pentacles. We have Sagittarius. You can be a Sagittarius. They can be a Sagittarius. We have Scorpio. You can be a Scorpio. They can be a Scorpio. We have Capricorn. Go ahead and give me one more card. Go ahead and give me one more card. Go ahead and give me one more card. And then we have Pisces. So it is definitely for me as well, right? And if it's definitely for me as well, then right now you could be in a mindset of wanting a relationship, or you could be in a mindset of wanting a partnership, but that's not really your focus, right? Because no les voy a mentir, personas, I'm also in that mindset, right? I would want a partner, I would want to date a girl, I would want to date a person, specific things like that. But right now, my attention is being more drawn into the Sun and the Ten of Pentacles, right? So I personally also feel like you are in that energy as well. Even though you crave love, even though you're craving maybe a past person, even though you're craving a present person, or even though you're craving a future person, right now you'll rather stay stuck with your financial stability, or right now you'll rather be happy with your financial situation. I specifically want to see if my collective is dealing with a past person, how is your person feeling about them? If my collective is dealing with a past person, how is your past person feeling about them? If my collective is, okay, some of you guys are going to be getting somebody showing back up with the Three of Wands, right? But not yet. And the reason I say not yet is because the Three of Wands, I always see it as a thought. The Three of Wands is always as a thought. And then in the next few weeks, the next few days, they start taking that action towards that thought, right? That's what's coming out very heavily right here. Then we have the Justice in reverse. Okay, if you're dealing with a past person, this past person feels very unbalanced. 100%, right? We're reading your energy. This is how I read cards, right? With the Three of Wands and with the Two of Cups, past person, present person, is still looking at your partnership. They're still looking at what you guys once were. With the Justice in reverse and with the Sun not going to lie, they are in their mind of how good you look, how good it looks like you're doing, or how happy it looks like you're doing with the Sun. And with the Justice, they honestly feel very much so, in a sense, very, very unbalanced. Eso está saliendo demasiado fuerte. Go ahead and give me one more card for how is my collective person feeling about them. Okay, with the Seven of Wands, your specific person, even though they still have you on their mind, even though they're still thinking about you, they're very guarded about the situation, right? I do want to point out that the Seven of Wands could signify that they're trying to protect their feelings, or they're still willing to fight for this relationship or willing to fight for this situation if you're dealing with a present person or a past person. But with the Justice being right here in reverse, they feel like they were the ones that got the short end of the stick. And they feel like they were the ones that got the short end of the stick, even though they walked away with the Three of Wands. Why? Because with the Sun and with the Ten of Pentacles, you're more focused on what brings you stability, and you're not focused on what does not bring you stability. So you specifically see what I'm seeing right there, what's currently happening, right? So I'm gonna 100% say it like it is. You are in their mind, no doubt about that. The only problem right here is that they're in contemplation of whether they should like kind of jump back in, because with the Seven of Wands, they could still be willing to fight for it. The only problem is that I do see that you could be doing a little better than them. Y les molesta. Told you. It bothers them with the Nine of Swords. It bothers them because they're feeling really unbalanced, knowing that you're no longer willing to share with them. Or they know that you're no longer willing to put them first. And that's the energy of this reading. You're doing better. They're a little bitter, because you're no longer willing to share with them. I don't doubt that if you're dealing with a past person, they're going to show back up in the next probably 3-4 months. If not 3-4 months, you might hear something about them, or you might hear from them. But with the Nine of Swords and with the Six of Pentacles, they are not doing so well because they see that you're no longer willing to share with them. Okay? Overall, that's all I have for you. Cuídense demasiado. Cuidado y los amo mucho.